Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, in the third episode of WhiTeeee podcast. Well, the name is WhiTeeee and it's not racist, it's just the name of the channel. Today, I really want to talk about my service, my business. I would say it's a sensitive topic as I haven't shared this ever before, or at least not in the depth that I'm willing to share now. And it's more of I'm going to share the journey and where I am at and what's the problem that I'm facing and how I'm planning to fix it. So yeah, let's get started. Now for my service or business, I assume that none of you know what it is, but I have started, so I have actually looking for ways to leverage AI and to make it as a business. Because I understand that the AI wave, let's say it's moving at this speed, and whatever human speed is going, AI is a little bit ahead. So if it can just be in the gap between AI and humans, I can make some money, which is where usually, the breakthrough good money-making ideas actually are, right? Which is like, there's a lot of examples, like actually uploading YouTube in 2013 or 2008, whatever, or being Bitcoin 2013, whatever. You got the point. So I was like, well, that's kind of cool. So I was like, I'm going to actually get into what PowerPoint presentations using AI, leveraging AI. Before people can learn how to use AI, I learn how to use AI for them and I make the PowerPoint presentation. Very simple idea. I did it and it was $1 per presentation. At first it was a headache. It was taking me like 4 hours per presentation. Not very good ROI, return on investment. But after that, I got people that have thesis. So in college, before you graduate, you have to graduate a thesis, which is a project, like a research that you do, and it's almost like a subject in college that you have to do research and give it to professors, whatever, and they will judge you on the research, and then you graduate. So it's like a procedure, whatever process. And people would come into me to help them actually make the PowerPoint presentations or actually do the research for them. And at first it was like very low level colleges that would come into me. I was like, well, this is something that I've never done before. I've never done that before at that point. I said, well, I accept it. I accept money. So give me it, if that makes sense. So I've produced the first thesis, second thesis, third thesis, whatever. And at the end of the year, I was looking back and I said, well, I made like 100 presentation and half of the money came from like 5 clients. All of those 5 clients were thesis, the ones that I've made thesis for them, because they have such a big problem. They're fine with paying me big money to actually solve the problem for them. And the way I used to do the thesis was really just to use AI, like go to ChatGPT, say generate this topic about this, whatever, bullshit. I don't say like at first I was really bad. I'm pretty sure I wasn't even mentioning, like there was no references, nothing. It was like very vague, very low level as well. But it passed. So next year I said I'm gonna just do theses because it just made the most money, and I advertised for it. Advertising was a little bit aggressive. I said like, whatever, if you can't make your thesis, I'll make it from start to finish in 24 hours. Guaranteed the results, whatever. But it was an offer, very good offer. Grand Slam offer by Alex Hormozi. Book. I read that before I made the offer. And it had a lot of demand and supply was low as it was only me making the PFOs or theses. And this year is the same thing. But this year is a bit different because so I was using AI. I was leveraging AI to make the theses as logically I wouldn't be able to even write a thesis about a topic I wouldn't know, not even in a billion years. Also, like my level in French has to be very high and my research has to be good. And just such an annoying thing, and you have to be good researcher. It's almost as if I'm going to do research about a topic. Like a full research is hard. And for me, what I was doing is like, I help you pass. Like, I do it, I help you, whatever. And then it's such an interesting fact about it as well. So I think this year will be the last year I'm gonna do it for many reasons. I'd say the first one is AI detectors. So I'd say in most parts in the world, they have AI detectors now, like universities and colleges. So you can't really pass with an AI generated content. Although I'm quite good now, like I can make content that at least doesn't look like AI and doesn't feel like AI and can give it certain instructions. But the high risk is just very high that it's just risky, it's just too risky. I wouldn't do it, right? As like I've experienced like few clients before that I've had that they got detected by AI, and it was such a pain and a progress. Whether it was the like it was wrong, like usually they have made the mistake, but like I have been through the process of having a client who has been detected by AI, and just such a pain, man. Which I think this is the last year I'm gonna do it. And the good thing is I usually my clients are Morocco, which is what I last year I did. Morocco, we don't have AI detectors because the good AI detectors, they're quite expensive. So it can really help students, you can generate content, and it's fine. They can actually write it with the research. But this is not the vision that I envisioned, right? This is not the vision that I envisioned the project at the beginning. Which is why I think actually it's the last year. I hope I can make some money this year out of it, which helps me leverage, a couple things like buy a computer, like I really need it. But such an interesting thing, man. It's such an interesting business model, like as a service as well. And I wouldn't be able to actually predict the future even in this business. My guess is AI detectors will just be everywhere, and teacher will be very good at actually detecting the content that is AI by, AI generated content. And I'm pretty sure like there will be tools that will help better help detect AIs. I'd say even more than AI detectors, because the language models are just getting upgraded. And I really don't know how, AI detectors work. I've researched into that, but it's almost like patterns, and they look into patterns, and they pretty much also have the same database that ChatGPT has. So they say that like they have the same access or whatever. But also, like the way of thinking just ChatGPT. But also the point is the language models are just getting far ahead and far more powerful. And even you can use techniques to sort of like bypass a bit, but I wouldn't recommend it. But it's almost as if I'm not complaining here, but I'm really talking about my business service. So this is my service. So the problem I've had lately was fulfillment. Fulfilling the content, because one, there's risk that they get flagged, and obviously I'll be to, it's just gonna be hard if someone gets flagged as AI generated content. Two, there's the pain of modifications and edits that is guaranteed, because every time you do a project, usually the supervisor wants something different, whatever. And I usually provide that as a, to better the offer and actually helps the student. And also one of the reasons why I'm pretty much sure like it's going to be the last year is I'm not sure about the legality of it as well. Because when you think about it, well, the subject, so the thing is that it's an open subject. As research, nobody really cares who done the research as long as the research is done. As Thomas Edison was a researcher, and a lot of people say that he was not the researcher himself who explored or invented the lamp. As research, when it comes to research, nobody really cares who done the research as much as about what is the research that we're talking about. And for the students that I work with, usually, they're not even in advanced, so it's not a PhD research. It's like a license degree research or a master research, where it's really they don't care. They just want you to like get help or get used to what is research. So the students spend more time explaining and understanding that there is a world that I can explore and do research and I can actually invent new information. And that's why even now or last year, even that I produce or like when advertising, you want to give a good offer and want to go hard on the offer, like I'm going to make everything whatever. But when you talk and actually when it comes to the real talk, you really want to state that you are an assistant at the end of the day. And it's their subject, because although I'm helping you because I know some cutting edge technology that you don't, but at the end of the day, I'm an assistant and you have to understand your topic, you have to understand your research, because you will be the one who will be questioned by the juries, as well as it's your field of expertise. And I think it's such an interesting, and now I have my own research and I'm working out the same way. I swear to God, wallahi, I'm actually working on my thesis just like I worked on other students. Wallahi means I swear to God. And it's just interesting. It's pretty much the same thing. I would say really more stress than working it for other people.